Iffey Studios! Iffey Studios! Iffey Studios! Iffey Studios! Yeah! Hello guys, here is the improved history of Iffey, brought to you by the Iffey Military General in Pentwater, Michigan. Okay guys, on this trip I'll talk to you about the glorious history of Iffey, starting April 5th, 2015. On April 5th, 2015, the glorious leader was crying on his dinner table because the nation he once formed, the last about 2 to 3 weeks, was crushed by a Minecraft glitch. It was so traumatic that our dear glorious leader was so upset, and it was just, he was bullied for it, and he was committed to make a country greater than that country ever will be. And that's how Iffey was formed. This started the first Iffey Golden Age, in which the Iffey government made a wonderful, wonderful city spanning 2 Minecraft islands. It was just completely gigantic. The largest city Iffey ever made in Minecraft. Ever. The glorious leader made this Minecraft city in about half a year in survival. And it was immense. It was glorious. And it started Iffey's career as a superpower. But sadly, around about December of 2015, the base was nuked by the Unknown Empire. The city was nuked by the Unknown Empire, which destroyed the city completely. Utterly destroying the city completely. And by this, there was become nothing left of that wonderful city. And the Iffey government had to become all Iffey government and its citizens became refugees and fled to another Minecraft island and formed a military base in order to protect them from the Unknown Empire. This started the Iffey Depression and ended the first Iffey Golden Age. Oh! Exploration. This marked the Iffey Depression, which was a very turbulent time in Iffey history. It was very much a time of regret. The Unknown Empire lasted for about a week until the Iffey government mastered the forces to take down their AI leader in Minecraft. And soon, they were nothing. And the Iffey government made a new world called the Iffey Restart, in which they built a base in the jungle and declared a capacity in Iffey. Yeah! And it was glorious once again. This capacity went to the Wii U to more legitimize itself, and this became known as the second Iffey Golden Age, in which the Iffey government conquered more of Minecraft and became more of a power in that region. It was very turbulent. Kind of like what I'm doing right now. Very turbulent. And, well, let's just say a capacity doesn't work out as planned because a congress of companies tend to lust for profits. And starting, it was a bunch of stuff that happened. A bunch of video games annexed by Iffey. But in a nutshell, the capacity became a superpower until it met the Xi Empire, which was the largest empire to go against Iffey ever since that point. The Xi Empire, which was basically a cult, was destroyed by the Iffey government after about a month of fighting. although resistance was futile for the Shi, the Kappansi eventually won that war, and, well, they were utterly defeated. But the Kappansi only lasted for about a few weeks after their annexation of the Shi Empire, because, well, the Kappansi didn't work very well, and the people got upset and started a Parasius revolution. A Parasi, which is a people's government, where the people are the government. Literally the government. This completely destroyed the Kappansi and started the Parasius revolution. This was a small period in time in which the Iffey government absolutely wrecked the Kappansi, overthrown the Congress of Companies, and formed a people's union, which basically had people in a union that fought for their rights. It was, again, glorious. The Parasius Revolution started in August of 2016, and ended around September 2016. After that, it was the third Iffey Golden Age, in which the Iffey, under Parasius rule, became a hub of Iffey imperialism. The Iffey government made Iffey Studios, and, you know, they became a power formidable. But they met the NID government, which was a wonderful ally for Iffey throughout its entire existence. The Iffey government during this time made many alliances, but, you know, it was turbulent, but in the end, glorious, because our dear glorious leader, he was building and building the country, the Parasi, the world's very first Parasi, at this time. And it was just so good. So good. Some may say, why bother? Why bother? Well, this age really showed that. It was an age in which Iffey built up its infrastructure and Parasiism and made its first interaction with the outside world as we see today. And Minecraft soon became less relevant issue in the new Iffey. It was now about Parasiism and less about the conquest of Minecraft. You see this? This is what Iffey is fighting for now. The Iffey government also, during around the spring of 2017, had its first major resistance from Iffey's expansion into this wonderful realm. They were called Panda Nation, which started with a fight against the glorious leader and one of his members. This wouldn't end well for Panda Nation in the end, but they were resistant and formed a 20-person strong nation, complete with the ideals of anarchism. A governless society built on one principle: defeating Parasiism. Panda Nation lasted for about a week till it was conquered by Iffey and completely destroyed by, Panda Nation being split between Iffey and multiple anarchist nations. These anarchist nations were former members of Panda Nation. They were persistent with anarchism, and they fought till their nation's defeat. Until about June 5th, 2017, the last anarchist resistance was surrendered to the Iffey government. And the glorious leader waved an Iffey flag in front of 100 people in a stadium in his school. This marked the end of the third Iffey Golden Age and the beginning of the Iffey Renaissance. This was basically the height of Iffey culture. It was the height of Iffey culture. The Iffey government at this point was going crazy. It was going absolutely crazy. The Iffey government was fun. They were, at this time, it was pretty peaceful though. Infrastructure projects for the Iffey government's party structure went sky high. Economic unions, political unions, they went sky high. Iffey was as stable as possibly can be. It was marvelous. There was a war against a country called rebels that made a scar on our glorious leader, but it was worth it because a flipper tank saved the day. Our dear glorious leader, his marvelous in his wake, started this major Iffey Renaissance, but it sadly ended in September 2017 due to a group called the North Iffey Monarchy. The North Iffey Monarchy was, let's just say, not so keen on Iffey. They wanted to separate from Iffey, separate from parties, and form a monarchy with a king. They started the first Iffey Civil War and he also had help with a country called the Iffey and West Iffey. The Iffey government completely conquered them all in about 2 weeks. The Iffey government eventually, after that, decided to expand further with its projects because nationalism grew exponentially when they won the first Iffey Civil War. Partisanship was shown to be the superior ideology at this point, and it was very much a really great country. But after the end of the Iffey Civil War came the Iffey Boring Age, because not a lot happened. Because SMA was, a country called SMA kind of did some stuff, a bunch of political stuff, and in the end not really much happened after that. It was a boring age, nothing really happened. Very much an age that never happened. But in December of 2017, the Iffey government had an idea. Their nationalism was growing so much, might as well conquer. Because, you know, sorry to say this eventually, but in the past, after the Party's Revolution, the Iffey government invaded half of the USA, the U.S. eastern coast line, the Bahamas, and New York and Chicago. At this point, these people were, the Iffey government was pretty powerful. So they declared the first Parsis Iffey Empire age, and the first Parsis Iffey Empire, in order to preserve their nationalism and expand Iffey's influence. I'm lost, boy. You don't need to worry about that. The Iffey government was keen to... The Iffey government was very keen to keep this and invade a very stable country that had about 500 citizens as well. This marked their rise right to power. The Iffey government, they really wanted to be powerful. And in about a month, the Iffey government invaded Eastern Europe. Ireland, Britain, Belgium, Germany, Italy, under Iffey influence. Because the glorious leader sent Iffey flag to somebody who was going to all those places. See, here in Iffey, we don't invade stuff because we just want to. We put an Iffey flag there. That's how we do it in Iffey. And yeah, you know, it was great. It was great. Absolutely great. But eventually, oh mama. Ooh, I can go down here. I'm not, sorry. After that, you know, what happened was the Iffey government decided that this empire thing, not so much. And then February of 2018, yeah, 2018, the Iffey government, February 2018, the Iffey government decided to become the Parsis Iffey Republic. And this Parsis Iffey Republic fought the Second Iffey Civil War, which was against the anti-Iffey Empire. The Iffey Civil War against Britannia, and the Fourth Iffey Civil War against Gavin Iffey. These civil wars were fought around the time of the Parsis Iffey Republic. You know, around that time. I think the Second Iffey Civil War was more in the Parsis Iffey Empire age. But yeah, the Parsis Iffey Republic was a time of increased democracy within Iffey, because all that nationalism, not good for democracy. So we decided to increase democracy in Iffey, but turn it to a Parsis Republic, in which, well, basically a party, you know. A party is just like an improved republic. But yeah, the Iffey government was doing pretty good for itself during the Parsis Republic, I guess. Until we lost capacity to make Iffey dollars, which at this time Iffey never had a leverage-backed currency. It was never thought of yet for Iffey. Oh great, this is deadly. Ha! Oh. Well, you guys, that's what I was gonna face with. But the Parsis Iffey Republic was lacking in resources to fund itself because, well, you know, as time passed on, infighting and, well, the lack of, you know, support, because people were starting to support it less, because they were getting kind of bored of Iffey, because they're kids, not adults, kind of made Iffey a bit unsure about itself, you know? So they decided, in order to boost support, made the Second Parsis Iffey Empire. The Second Parsis Iffey Empire is famous for invading Alabama. And that's about it. We took down Heath Bar. That's about it. Yeah. But it was great, you know. Even though second Parsis of the Empire is a poster child, basically a poster child to the Parsis of the Empire. It was formed on June 5th, 2018. But it was still good, like, kept Iffey stable. Kept Iffey stable for a time being, you know. It kept Iffey stable. And, you know, not a lot you could say about that, but, you know, that kept Iffey stable. The Parsis Iffey, second Parsis Iffey Empire, though, even though it did invade Alabama and fought multiple wars against uprisings of pro-Alabamian anti-Iffeys, which you'll see in all the nations Iffey fought, like Heathbar, mostly Heathbar. They were a pretty powerful force. He had a navy. We took them down gloriously. But yeah, you know, a bunch of treaties were signed, a bunch of video games conquered. The second Parsis of the Empire was still pretty successful. Although, there was a brewing issue within the second Parsis of the Empire. And that was the Sixth Iffey Civil War. A 2-month civil war started by a coup d'etat of a mostly peaceful nation that I've sadly forgot the name. It wasn't really peaceful. It was anti-Iffey, but they weren't like really fighting against Iffey, but they were anti-Iffey and propaganda and all that. But they had a coup d'etat, and heir against Iffey Republic came out of that coup d'etat and made a 20-person army within their nation. Because their nation was about this whole army. They were a militia. They called themselves a militia. A libertarian militia. And they had allies. Other countries rose up, like the Depression Empire and Stiffy. Those countries, they came and they ravaged the second Parsis Iffey Empire. They ravaged it. But even though the second Parsis Empire was having a lot of infighting in its capital city of Ionia, after 2 months of hardcore fighting, we made it out. You know, the second Parsis Iffey Empire, we made it out. We made it out. It was so great. So, what happened? What happened? Well, the second Parsis Iffey Empire did win the sixth Iffey Civil War, which started on, in the end of October and ended in the beginning of December. And it was tough. It was tough. But by the end of 2018, the Iffey government was feeling very demoralized. Like, I'm talking really demoralized. It was not looking good. Unlike a new country formed out of the ashes of air called Neo-Air, which is basically just former air. One person was in the country, but it was shoving anti-Iffey propaganda, which people believed started again to not support Iffey. They were like, your empire business is not what you stand for. And honestly, I agree with that. Those empire ages, a bit of a shame. That's not how a Parsi is. It's not empire. It's not empire. It's democracy. And the Iffey government started to realize that, and they become very demoralized. They're like, oh man, we built our entire country an empire. And what's our goal anymore? Because the Iffey government finally basically defeated all the anti-Iffeys. So like, what was their point of existing? The Iffey government felt like, we're not really showing partisan justice. We're not really a true partisan society. We're not like what country are we? We completed our goal of conquering Minecraft like 2 years ago. And we ended most of anti-Iffey stuff, but it's coming to bite us in the back. They bite us in the back, you know? But the Iffey government, they had no choice, you know? Our glorious leader had to declare the Iffey government to be resigned. The second Parsis Iffey Empire was no more. It was no more. As sad as that is, if he still, believe it or not, persisted in the minds of the former citizens of Iffey, after January 1st, 2019, the Iffey government still persisted. It persisted, alright. It persisted. It persisted strongly throughout the days. And 1 year later, on January, no, not January 1st, like sometime around January 2020, the re-established Iffey Empire formed. That was cool. The re-established Iffey Empire formed. Wish I even say, but bro, like, that's an empire. Is it? Yeah, it is, but if you want to feel a little bit iffy, partisanism is good. There's ticks right here. Why am I here? Partisanism is good, but it needs to be developed more. So to re-establish Iffey Empire, which a new glorious leader now rules. It's not really being about partisanism anymore. It's being about loving and respecting others, which it is partisanism at its moral core. Oh, there it is. At its moral core. So, yeah. And then we had a war, the battle for Lake Michigan, which if you haven't seen, go see it. It's great. And we're here in July 2020. That's a summarization of Iffey history in the best way I can put it. Is there a better way to explain it? Probably so. But I doubt you'll get a video like better than this. With all this beauty. So, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. I'm now in a tick-infested area. Hope I know how to get back. Bye!